record on the computer. All right, hey everybody. We are having some technical difficulties. So we've just started recording this so that if it is not casting into Facebook in our group, we'll share it there later. So I am so sorry for the hiccups going on here. I'm going to attempt right now to share this back into Facebook, but it is kind of doing its own thing right now and not playing very fair. Okay, and oh my goodness gracious. So thank you for your patience. They've made some updates on Zoom that I was not aware of. And so there you have it. That's what we're doing. So it says setting up the meeting for Facebook Live. Let's hope. I'm not going to be able to keep going back and forth between the screen and everybody else. So I apologize for that. Those of you that have your cameras off, just know that your face does not show on Facebook. Zoom only shows the faces of the cameras that are on, just in case you wanted a little tidbit of information there. Okay, so thank you for hopping in and being a part of this training here on the new Fashionistas onboarding system. I've been working closely with Kathy Lindgren and Tanya Lindquist and a few other people who have shared their input and things with this. I'm also working directly with Kimberly Alexander, a former corporate member of corporate with Color Street, and she's been helping us work through this. So in addition to this onboarding solution system, I'm also working on a 90-day jumpstart system as well that will help us be able to work with our girls for the first 90 days in the business, not just for those first few weeks as we're getting them onboarded. But we all know that as a new stylist is joining our team, whether it's with us or with if it's with our downline, that they need a lot more attention right in the beginning as we're helping them establish their new habits, their activities that they're doing to help them get their businesses off the ground. So I'm going to share with you what we've put together and kind of the basics of how you can utilize that. I have not gotten to, I'm having to admit people as we're going, so I have not gotten to creating the document that is specifically for the enroller. I've been working on that. Don't have it quite finished up yet, but let me share with you what we have so far. Let's see.
Just wondering where you were.
Okay.
Here's the bubbles back.
I clicked the wrong button. I want to share my screen.
Me too.
Just a video.
And this is the one that I want to share. Now you can see me in the group going all over, not knowing what I'm doing. So, all right. So I have just started on this document where we're talking about steps for the enroller. And the first step that I would like to encourage you to use with your own new stylist and with as you're teaching your stylist how to support their stylist is to get immediate contact with their new enrollees. And so this is going to be the document that I'm starting that will have very basic steps, because I don't want stylists to be spending a ton of time trying to find resources and trying to find all these things because they're already there for us. I just want to have a quick and simple guide for how we can help get our girls going. So the day that they join, I want to recommend that you send a welcome text message with a message similar to something like this. I'm so excited that you have decided to join me in Color Street. It will be so much fun helping you kick off your new business. My team has some incredible resources that I'm excited to share and help you work through. Check out fingernailfashionistas.com, which I've mentioned for all of you before, and let's schedule a time to chat in the next 24 to 48 hours. I am available and give 3 options. Which of those times works best for you? So we want to keep it simple. We want to give them the resources and the access and the information, and then we want to help walk them through instead of adding more and more and more onto their plate. So this here is the fingernailfashionistas.com link. And this is what you can send to any new stylist. This is what you can send to a stylist who's maybe struggling, trying to get things going and keep up with everything. Because I know that sometimes people need to jumpstart their business all over again when they've maybe hit a slump or they've had a life change things happening. So we want this resource to be available for anyone that would like to use it. So basically what we have here, it's very basic. and we may be adding things onto here, including links to some groups. I do have a mock party group that I shared with the team. It's a little bit of a more intensive party, and so I'm looking to gather some links to launch party or to groups, to mock party groups that have more of a launch feel to them. I will share that as well. Of course, I want to have those links available to them, but some stylists will see these parties that have lots of posts for multiple days and they're like, wait a minute, what did I sign up for? So I am working on getting a more basic launch template, as well as graphics. Those are being worked on right now. So we actually have graphics that will be a link in here that they'll be able to access and use for their launch party. So we have something available for all of our team. And one of the great things about having a link like this is that it's not something, they don't have to have Facebook to utilize this. If they don't do a
Come
lot
inside
of
for a minute so I
they're
can get the
still
meat.
learning. This is something
Let's
that
go
can be
get the
sent out
meat.
in a
Come on.
simple text message with the link for them to access. Yes,
What,
there
Madeline?
is the team Facebook group. Yes, there is the New Stylist Facebook group.
When did we get that old stove?
And we do a lot on Facebook.
We've had it for a
So I
long
always
time.
encourage my stylists that have not been a part of Facebook, which have not been very many, to create an account just to access and have support with the team if necessary. Okay, so when you send them this link, they'll be able to join the group. They'll be able to access the New Stylist Beat the Box incentive and the Facebook group. But here we start with the New Stylist training checklist. And this is a checklist that we did a lot to try to incorporate what corporate has available to us. So the very first thing that we're asking our stylists to do is to download the Color Street app. And rather than breaking this down into days, we've broken it down into steps so that the stylist, if you have a stylist that's like, I just want to do it all in the first day, they can. They don't feel restricted by it saying day 1, day 2, day 3. These are the steps that they can take. If they have time to do 5 steps, then they can do 5 steps. If they want to just start with step 1, that's great. So that may be something I want to add in here as well to the welcome text, to say, go ahead and complete step 1 and let's
Alexa,
a
turn
time to
off.
chat. In step 1, as you can see here, let's see if I can make this bigger. Okay, it says download the Color Street app and log in. I mean, we all know how basic that is. Log into the virtual office, which there's the link to do so. Upload your profile picture. Go to menu, account, profile picture, upload image. So we're trying to give them the steps to do this because we all know that as soon as they get their face in the virtual office, it means they're making an effort. I love when I see that face pop up in there, and I know that they have made an effort to log into the virtual office. And actually, when I am starting with a new stylist, something that I do is I ask them to upload their picture before we meet, and tell them that I can't wait to see their beautiful face. Okay, so you're going to set up your launch party link. This is the same method you will use to set up a party for a hostess. So we want to let them know that this is not anything different. When you set up a launch party, when you set up a link, this is the same steps you take. The only difference is you don't mark yourself as the hostess. All your personal and customer orders will always be done through your current party link. We should probably say usually, because then when corporate launches the bundles and things like that, we don't, sometimes that causes confusion. But so we want them getting a party link started and then taking a self-guided tour of the virtual office. There's nothing they can hurt. We want them to start looking through. We want them to start seeing the options that are available. We want them to feel comfortable with their virtual office. Recently, I had a stylist reach out to me for support, needed help with something. She'd been a stylist for a couple of months and she didn't even know how to log into the virtual office. I was like, oh my gosh, how are you running your business? She had people placing orders. They were just using her website link. And they were ordering, but she didn't even know how to log into her virtual office. And so we take for granted that people know how to do those kinds of things, and they don't necessarily do. So we want them to take a self-guided tour, look through here. So this is a really great step. And I'll remember that when I go and keep working on this other document. A great step to get them going, like log in the virtual office, put your picture in there, create a party link, and we'll talk tomorrow, right? And then we want to talk about how they set up a group for their launch party. Here's the steps for them again. And as you're supporting your new stylist, or you're helping your stylist support their new stylist, talk about these in steps. Like, what step are you on in the new, in the new stylist onboarding? Where are you at? Are you in step 1, step 2? Step 3 is getting connected with the team. Now, they may have already joined these 2 groups, the team group and the stylist group. And as a reminder, I wanted to show y'all that in here in the team Facebook page, there was a lot of chaos going on, especially in March, where we had over 400 or whatever it was, new stylists, a lot of people being welcomed. That's great. Like, I'm super excited to be welcoming people to the group. But when you're talking to your new stylist and you're getting them connected with the team, make sure that they know where to find the information. When they are in this link here, the new stylist beat the box incentive, it actually takes them straight to the Fingernail Fashionistas group, straight to the post about Beat the Box, so they know where to find it. We also have added in the requirement to fill out a jot form, so it's easier for me to track and choose winners every month and make sure that people have that information. But we want to make sure that our new team members know how to navigate these team spaces so they're not overwhelmed by them. So in the announcements of the group, you can see that I clicked on announcements up here. We have the Beat the Box incentive. We have a place for people to ask questions. We have a place to announce April achievements. We have a place to welcome new team members. So keeping that a little bit more streamlined keeps the group from being as messy and more of a resource and not something that's going to overwhelm our new stylists in the group. This is also where all of the monthly incentives are. It's where the in search of post is at. And this is where, the Google form that you fill out. There's, lots of other things in there, but, and there is the company new stylist checklist as well. Okay, for some reason my phone's going crazy. Oh, it's Peggy Smart. Okay. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, so we want to get them connected with the team. In here, we have how they can get connected doing the Fashionistas texting. I don't know how many of you have done that already. So for example, when the nails hit the website yesterday, there's a lot of people that struggle with time zone math. We're Central Standard Time, but people don't always, aren't always able to calculate, and they'll miss launches, they'll miss nail sets, they'll miss things happening. And so I do my best. It's not a guaranteed, because obviously it's me doing it myself, but to send out a text message anytime we have, a launch or new information or things happening that we want them to know about. Color Street does have their texting services as well. And if they're in the app and they've signed into the app, then they get notifications. So we just want to make sure we're touching bases with them and keeping them on top of things. Okay, so we talk about the steps of the launch party, scheduling party posts, and inviting. Because the first thing, honestly, one of the first things we want to see our stylists doing is finding success. So we want them getting out there, meeting customers, having their parties, getting sales in, getting that first paycheck. All of those things are crucial for them to feeling like they made the right decision by joining. We do have step 5, which is the training section. This is step 5, but a lot of people will go through steps 1 through 4 in day 1. So I start encouraging my stylists to start working on the training right away. In the Color Street app, complete the training so they can mark this off. They can print this, you can print this. Everybody can be working through this together. Okay, so step 6 is to book Facebook parties by texting and messaging 30 people to try to find 3 hostesses. So once they've had their lunch party, once they've been working through the trainings, once they've been doing all those things, we want them to start booking parties. That's where the bread and butter of the business is. So if they're booking parties, they're going to find success. So we're challenging them to go for 27 no's. This is kind of what we've come up together working with the few of us that have been in here. I am always open to feedback. All of you are out there in the field with your teams, your new stylists, so please provide feedback. I know we need to get some information in here. We have, how do you create a sample request form? How do you get a domain name? How do I make my own graphics? I have prospects considering becoming becoming a stylist. We have the link to our team considering group, and then information again on the Beat the Box program. So essentially, this is a one-stop shop for getting your stylist onboarded and welcoming them into the team and walking through the steps. And this is, we put up here, print this checklist and use it while waiting for your kit to arrive. So we are in hopes that all of our new stylists will be taking and going through these steps in their first week, and being ready to hit the ground running as soon as their kits have arrived. Now, we know that the team space is filled with a million resources. And so we're not saying, go to this training, do that, do this, do that. We are encouraging the enrollers to make connections with their new stylists. And that's what we can do in that first week in the business, get them going, get them excited, get them doing the trainings, having their launch party, and then looking to book new hostesses. So that's the onboarding solution. And I'm going to have more information to come, like I said, on the 90-day jumpstart, how we can keep up with them and make connections with them weekly on the 90-day jumpstarts. Let me stop. Hold on. I'm going to hit stop share there. So does anybody have any questions, thoughts, ideas, suggestions? Like I said, you guys are you're all leaders. You all have teams underneath you. You're recruiting and bringing new people into the opportunity. Did anybody have any thoughts? I know that it's been requested that we add some mock party links in there, and that is on the list to do as well. And I know that some of the other leaders also have their own mock party groups. And so we're looking to compile a variety of options that they have. And hopefully those images that the girl that does graphic art for me is like way behind. So I thought they were going to be done by now, and they're not. And as soon as she has those, I will also create a launch mock party group that will show them how they can use those new graphics as well. So at this point, does anybody have any questions about what you're seeing so far? Comments, thoughts?
I don't have a question, but
Julie,
I would love to.
Wait.
Oh, you can't hear me?
It might be because I muted my computer. Comments, thoughts?
I don't have a question, but
Julie,
I would love to.
Wait.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Hold on, Julie. I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna try something else. Hold on. Comments, thoughts? Oh, the joys of all this. I think I can mute it right on the computer. There we go. Okay, Julie, now try it.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, I was able to mute it right directly on Facebook instead, so it's not.
Awesome. Okay, so I would love to collab with you with the launch group. I have a mock launch party group right now that I don't really like. It was kind of like a rushed thing because I was onboarding so many people. But I would love to like work with you on that if you're up for it.
Of course.
Because I don't know, like, since you're starting from scratch in a way, if you want to collab on that. And then I love the outline, the work, what you have so far. I think it's really, really great. So kudos. I like it a lot. I just wanted to like applause you for that right now.
Thank you. I'll take the applause. It's been a week, when has it not been, right? Though, like, life is life. It is what it is, right? So thank you. Yes, Julie, I would love to collaborate with you on that, and I'll reach out to the graphics girl to see what she has done. I was trying to get her to make some, standard graphics so that anyone on our team could access them, and try to keep them updated with nail sets that are like the classics so that we're not always having to constantly update those graphics, but something that would be available to anybody on our team or joining our team to have available. So the mock party group I have right now is all St. Patrick's, and she hasn't even gotten the graphics done for my BQ people in April yet. So I'm gonna like have to make them myself, and you guys are gonna be like, what happened to the quality? Erin made them. So I
Well,
apologize.
you know, I love making graphics. So if you ever need help with that area too,
I
I'm happy
know.
to.
I don't want to overwhelm people though. Also, I like to get what I pay for. So we'll work on fixing that one. But yes, Julie, maybe you and I should collaborate and just start making our own graphics and going, because I'm wondering if she's even started on them and she just, I mean, I want to trust people that they are. So if any of your BQ stylists from March are asking, they haven't received them because I haven't, and I haven't had time to make them myself. So I wish I did have more time. If I could create more time in my day, it would be amazing. If anyone figures that out, let me know. All right, well, my goal was to do this in 30 minutes or less. And so with our little hiccups at the beginning, I can see, okay, I see it. Let me go look at the Facebook group. Christina says kindergarten is loud. I feel you, girl. All right, you're welcome, Stephanie. Okay, so I don't see any questions there. Feel free to come in and add any questions on the live in the Facebook group. If you need to, those of you that are here, if you think of any questions, please look over this onboarding system and let's start sharing this with our teams. And if anyone wants to give me input on what needs to go directly on the enroller, because I want to have something for the enroller to access that'll say like, I have a new stylist, now what? But I don't want them to feel like they have to be like a robot, like you have to do these things a certain way, because I can't tell you how to make connections with your new stylist. I can give you resources to support that, but I don't want to tell you this is what you have to say. So even when I say send a text, something like this, like make it your own, have your personality in it, because that person chose to join you. They just happen to get all of us with it. And so that's, they want that to be an advantage. We don't want them to feel like they're being passed off or letting somebody else do the work for them, because people choose intentionally to join the people that they join. So I just want to help have resources so that people aren't feeling lost on how to help. And then of course, when we have a new stylist who is jump starting, who has a brand new stylist her first month, it's like, wait a minute, I'm still learning. How am I supposed to help them? I want to have some basic resources available to them that really tie into what the company is doing, because Color Street has really stepped up their game in the last year in providing resources with Connect the Dots, with the Tuesday trainings, with the app and all the trainings and the resources. We have so much available at our fingertips that it can be really super overwhelming. However, if we are using our systems to connect into theirs, it's going to make it more streamlined across the board. So we know that all the stylists on our team have seen the same material, have seen the same information, have experienced a lot of the same things. So they aren't, so we can ask them questions based on what we know they've done. And for those of you who have downlines, who maybe people sign up just because they didn't know anybody else, you have something you can do as well. Now in some of the other teams, I know that directors and above are sending welcome text messages themselves to any new stylist within their downline, welcoming them so they can see their faces and know who they are as leaders. And that's something I'm going to add on to the enroller, list as well. So if you're a director, or if, you have a senior director above you, or whoever, you work with in your immediate leadership group, talk to them about how you are connecting with your new stylist in your group, and make sure that they know they're welcome, they are seen, that we're happy to have them here, because everybody matters. Even if someone only sells 1 buy 3 get 1 in a month, sometimes that's makes all the difference in the things that we're trying to accomplish. And so everybody matters in the team, and we want to help them feel that way. And so I would encourage you, and I'm working on developing more systems, and it's coming from a place of, I've been that overwhelmed leader. I've been that leader that felt like I had to do everything on my own, not because of what other people were doing, but because I took on that role and I decided, oh, well, if this has to happen, then I just have to do it. And I don't want to wait, and I don't want to have to train or do all these other things because I can just do it. And that's a mistake, right? Like, we are here as a team to support one another's, and a team leader and director, the responsibilities that I see that you have are to make connections with your team, to be building those relationships, helping them be seen and feel valued, because as you grow in leadership, it gets harder and harder to be able to connect with your team every day. If I could message and connect with all 2,800 of the Fingernail Fashionistas every month, I would do it. I don't have the time for that. And my family doesn't have the time for me to have the time for that. So this is how we come together, and why the structure of the team is so important. You know, our senior stylists are not part of the leadership group, and that's okay. But my pool person's here. But let's teach our team leaders and directors, that's some of you, to be making those connections. Don't worry about doing all the trainings. It's there. You don't need to have a Facebook group. That's more work that takes away from the time you have to connect with your team and run your own business. We're still running businesses, guys. I'm still selling. I'm still having nail bars. I'm still recruiting. That's an aspect of Color Street we don't walk away from. We always have our own personal business that's part of our responsibilities as a stylist. And so don't add things to your plate that are just adding things to your plate. We have a team space. We have, several senior executive directors and executives that have team spaces. You really don't need your own. And it's also confusing to stylists. So when someone joins, if they have 13 groups to join, that's a lot to keep up with. But know that your senior executives and above, those are the stylists who have direct access to corporate. And you want to make sure that your stylists are a part of those teams and those spaces, because that's where information is coming directly from corporate, from the meetings that we attend and the things that we do. And I'm just telling you again, it saves you a lot of time if you don't do more work than is necessary. Focus on where you are, and as you grow, that's where you develop your role as a leader. So team leaders and directors, you probably don't need to be doing a ton of incentives that cost you your paycheck. You want to be growing and building your paycheck, but do that by utilizing the resources and plugging your team and your teammates into the incentives and things that are already happening. Corporate does a ton of them. How many of your girls are on the verge of earning the bracelet? Probably lots of them. So get in touch with them, remind them. They may have forgotten. Instead of worrying about creating all your own things, worry about plugging them into what's already there and using those as your resource as a leader to support your teams. So those are just some of my tips for today, in addition to this onboarding solution system. And it's always a work in progress, because we always know that things are changing. Everything changed when the pandemic happened last year. We're still coming out of those days of the pandemic. But we have people here who are here for lots of reasons. And I don't know if I can't remember where the training was. It was either yesterday or today that I saw a training where they talked about, it was yesterday with Hannah Steelman, talked about most people don't join for money. Most of them don't. Most of them are joining for a community, for a place to feel like they fit in, for something more in their life. And the money is just an added bonus. And as they start seeing how the money can change their lives, it drives them and gives them more reason to keep going. So let's help these brand new stylists feel like they're a part of something. Let's give them the tools and resources they need to be successful without drowning them in too much, right? Like, let's just be the best leaders and supporters that we can be as we help them grow and develop in the business as they want to. So, and know that this is another thing that you want to keep in mind, and that you'll want to remind your stylists when they're feeling frustrated, is we can't run people's businesses for them, but we are in a position to be able to influence, to be able to support, provide resources, and help them see what's going to work for them. And if they fail and if things don't happen, it's not necessarily our responsibility if we have done all the things to help them have the resources. But again, there's people who are at the top of the company who had zero support from their enroller. So people can be successful regardless, but we want to give them that kickstart that they need, and the information. Oh, and it just ended the live in Facebook again. So there we go. That's my hint to shut up, because y'all know I'll talk forever. Maddie's over here like, yeah, Erin, you should have stopped talking like 10 minutes ago. Anyway, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope we see some success with this onboarding system. Your a group of your leadership now is working together on some really exciting things for May. We know that it is a qualification month for conference, and whether you are attending live or online virtually, we want to help you all have the best month that you've had in a long time. So just know that some really fun things are coming down the pike, and we'll share those things here in the leadership group as we get those all figured out. I mean, that was it shocked all of us. None of us knew that was going to change to May. So it's like, oh crap, shift gears. Let's figure things out right away as quickly as we can. So we're working on that for all of you. And we'll have some things rolling out probably since May 1st is this weekend. You'll see a lot of things like Sunday and Monday coming out with information for you. So let me know if you have any questions. Go drop those in the live. Sorry it ended early, but we recorded this, and so I'll upload and share. So have a good Wednesday, everybody. Take this. All right. Bye, guys.